the angle you're coming from, but that is you. For people like me and a vast majority of other men, we will not want to raise another man's child while the man is somewhere in Quillox drinking Hennessy 250. Will I be at home taking care of your child?
Hey,
drinking Hennessy 250, madam. Daddy Freeze. We can try to paint this thing whatever way we want to paint it, but it is the truth, and a vast majority will not want to deal with it. See, there are lots of reasons why you should not. A single mother is a no times 10. One, I have a friend who went to see a single mother. They were just dating. The lady's daughter was in the living room reading a book. She sat down somehow. You know how kids, as in teenagers, sit down carelessly. She sat down carelessly. He can't come out face. Turn, they look another thing. Come on face, they look another thing. Because he didn't want to correct her. Because if he corrects her, the first thing what they go ask her, what you carry your eye go there? Like say my daughter, my eye get you really sit down properly. What's wrong with you? Secondly, there is no way you discipline that child that the mother will not bring in sentiments that you're doing this because this child is not yours.
Now, John, I want to talk to you. You have made a lot of sense. But you see, a single mother who is dating a man has to know the place of her man in her child's life and has to know the place of her child in her man's life. Only a wise woman can balance that equation. Now, John, let me ask you a question. Imagine your ex-wife. I now marry her.
You cannot.
Why?
I'm sorry. Because you can. I thought you okay, continue.
No. Tell me how I cannot. Baba asked me
okay, continue. You now marry her then.
I can't marry her. Now the judge awarded her custody of the child and gave you visitation rights, which is what 90% of judges will do. I am not a poor man. I live in Banana Island or in Lekki in a gated estate, so it's not that I can come and do madness. Any madness we want to do, we go counter mad.
Me too. I wouldn't be a poor man too.
You two are not a poor man, so it is two rich people doing madness. Now, your child lives in my house maybe 3, 4, 5 days.
This is where I was supposed to say it's not possible. It's not possible.
Why is it not possible? Tell me how it's not possible.
My son, my child, cannot live in another man's house.
How? What do you want to do? Now, let me break your heart.
Break my heart.
You can't, there's no Nigeria.
Huh?
But let's just imagine Nigeria get as it be. Your ex-wife can't go Canada. She can't meet me for Canada. You know if you tell me say the pikin no go live. The woman says I live here, he's my husband, he's gonna live with me.
Daddy Freeze, my child will not grow up in another man's house. Simple. QE.
Thing you can do.
Daddy Freeze, there are a lot of things I can do. I won't tell you.
What can you want to familiarize you do?
What will I tell you? If you want me to tell you, I'll call you personally. Don't worry. My son, my hair, my first son will not grow up in another man's house. The only place he can grow up is either his grandparents' house or my house.
But that's in the story. If the mama really, all this way they talk. The mama no
Daddy Freeze. You see all this? Am I doing already? Okay. You see all this things you guys say if the mama relocation. Daddy Freeze, we know how to bring people back from America. Don't worry. Don't worry.
No.
That is not the phone. If it's my own phone they're talking about, forget it. It won't happen. Let's talk about other people. That for the mind to do what I will do. Let's talk about other people. The truth is, Let me give another example that the phrase. Let's say me, John, now marries Nkechi, who is a single mother. Nkechi has a child, Tunde, for her ex, Femi. Now, Nkechi comes into my life and have another son for me, Emeka. So when it's time for me to write my will, you tell me I'm their father. Now, let's say I have just 2 houses in my life. I'll will one of my houses to Emeka, my son, and one of the houses to Femi. Femi's father will now remember that he has a child called Femi, and he has to include him in his will. He will now will another house to Femi. Femi will have 2. My own biological son will have 1. If my papa do that thing, I'll go spit on top in the grave.
Now, these are conversations you need to have.
Why have those conversations when you can avoid it?
No, but you see,
by marrying a fresh young woman,
Baba,
without any problem.
There'll not be every fresh young woman their head correct too.
Hey, that difference. Let me deal with that particular problem. Dealing with you.
Baba, why are you so worried about my inheritance when I'd rather marry someone that will give me peace of mind in this life?
That difference. The thing is, every woman you marry, whether single or married, or a single mother or no single mother, will come with their own wahala.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with the single mother is that it comes with 2 wahala, she and her child. Let me marry the one that comes with 1 wahala and deal with that 1 wahala.
You'll be from single, whether you like. Don't have personal wahala. The only wahala is the child.
That's the freeze. That's the freeze. Imagine, God forbid, it was my dad that died, and it was now my mom that was alive. I should now remarried. The man cannot deal with me. It's not possible.
That's the freeze, but that's what I was saying. I think it's one of those topics that is different strokes for different folks. Because sometimes
another man who's not my father can deal with me. It's not possible.
Let me tell you
some
something.
people do it effortlessly, but some men can't cope with it.
You know, children. I have adopted children. I have stepchildren. All of them are entitled to exactly the same thing my biological children are entitled to.
And congratulations, you make up 5%.
Let me tell you what my philosophy is. I don't live in my father's house. I don't drive my father's car. So why should I raise children that need my house or my car?
I know that the freeze. I agree with you.
Fuck favors on you, and maybe you are not my biological child, and your own biological father decides to will you a house or a plane or a business, or that's your luck. I will whoever lives under my roof so well that they'll be able to at least eat.
No problem.
And I said something. He said, once you have clothing and shelter, everything else is extra.
That the freeze. Me, John. A single mother marries me. In Pekin, my Pekin go chop first before Pekin chop.
Lie.
My Pekin go chop belly. My Pekin go chop belly.
Daddy Freeze, can I say something?
I can't deal with it and I will avoid it.
Daddy Freeze, the reason why I just like avoid like African men like in general because of like our reasoning is quite different. And why I go for white men because of like they're very lenient and very understanding for certain things. My baby daddy is not broke. I still collect money from him, but we didn't work out. But I still realize that even the guys that, of course, I've opened myself to other races, like India, no, everything. I don't even discriminate. Before I was too locked up on dating just black men. But I was like, where me dating a black man can never, ever, they can't take care of me the way I want to be taken care of. But when you open yourself to other races, I promise you, all this conversation about, I don't feel date single man, all these things will just end. When a man loves you, he will love your children and join. That one I know for sure.
You are now going for the available and not the desirable. And it's because you're proud.
No, I'm open to every race.
Going for the available, not the desirable.
Okay.
Madam.
No, I grew up in Nigeria. Majority of men I saw in Nigeria were black men. Do you understand? So I thought that was. But when I grew up and sorry.
Prefer African men.
Sorry if I'm
because
talking
you have
about
realized that we African men will prefer to marry
Mm-hmm.
Chassis, someone that does not have children. Chassis, someone that does not have
Yeah.
children.
No, that's good. It's okay. Everyone has a preference. Like the other time, John, you said that you don't.
To seek solution.
No, yeah, definitely, because of like I've seen how like white men treat their women. They don't come out and discriminate their women. They don't talk down that even in them, but it's only black men. You can see them dragging their race of women up and down. They can even sell everybody's pants. To be honest with you,
madam, what country are you based in?
That is the truth.
Let me be like John, madam. What country, sorry, are you based in? No.
No, that doesn't matter. But what I'm just saying is that it's just
about white men don't treat like over here in the UK. White people are the ones who actually emotionally and psychologically torture their women most. You will see it all over the news. So I think don't let us be painting one race. Don't let us be painting one race against
that
another.
case. That is a different case. Those things are just
I'm not like obviously blaming you for you, but that's what you like.
Yeah.
But don't say one race don't do this or don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about like obviously I'm just saying that everyone should be open to other races, because if you're dating a certain type of man and you realize that doesn't work well for you, there are biracials, there are different other races of people that you can look up to and like you can date and you have a good life.
I need you to understand one thing. If you don't take anything away from this life, take this one away. Maybe my delivery is bad. Maybe people don't like me. But you see this one thing I want to tell you.
No, I don't hate you. You always say the truth.
Madam, you see
but it's just that
only an African man will be dating you and be looking at the future. The reason why those white men treat you like a queen is because all they are thinking about is that knack where you give them then. Once that knack will them, you won't see them again. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. That is what it is. That is how they are wired. Once they are done with that knack, it will fool them. They see an option. You're gone.
Madam, don't go.
So the thing is this is not about race or no race. Every human being wants. Okay, I had this conversation with someone, and someone was telling me about, I think, Jeff Bezos, that is getting married, that is engaged to a single mother that is 52. I told him, dude, can't you see what Jeff Bezos just did? He is getting married to a single mother of 52. All her kids are grown and are out of the picture. And that's why he decided to settle her. They are like starting afresh. My problem is not with the single mothers. My problem is with their children. And if you like, anybody that wants to take me to court, it's not my business. My problem is with your children. Even if I'm dating a single mother, if you're coming to visit me, don't come with your child. If you come with your child, the child is outside. Stay outside.
Yeah, it's a bit dicey. Like I said, I told you, I still don't know how I'll be able to deal with another man disciplining my own child. It's not going to work out. You know, now something where you feel launch each other blow on top street for. You know, no, it's.
And you know, as children, they play. If you play, carrying toys, don't for my TV. Bam! TV. While your papa their house, they drink champagne. I lie. Yeah. I lie. Even my Pekin do, I go chest them. Yes, now my Pekin. That's the last.
Even there's some things your child will do that you'll be angry and he'll come to you and say, "Oh, daddy, I'm sorry," or "Daddy, I love you," and you just like, you know, you get angry, but you'll be okay with it. But if it's someone else's child that do it, you love me for where after you've broken my, you know, you will.
Now, it's a fundamental issue here, and that fundamental issue is you are still looking at your wife's your wife's other children as not your children.
They're not my children.
Look at them as your children. Whatever my son does, or my stepdaughter does, or my adopted daughter does, I see it as the same thing. If it's a good thing, it is equally my eye. If they do a bad thing, it is equally my eye. I will not beat my stepdaughter more than my biological son, or I will not beat my stepson more than my biological daughter.
That is you. And I will tell you again, you make up 5% of the population of African men. Now, what I'm
Now,
saying
because I am a minority doesn't make me wrong.
you're not wrong.
You are not wrong. Nobody's saying you're wrong.
No,
You're
but there's more people like me, because whether you like it or not, all of you who are watching my life are either going to get divorced at a point, or separated, or widowed, or something at a point in your life. So how do you handle moving forward? How do you handle? Let me tell you something here. Let me tell you something. There was a time I was broke. I don't think any father would have done this. There was a time I was broke, really broke, and children had to go to school. Do you know I kept my biological son at home for 1 year so that the other go to school?
This one not too much now.
Wait! What? My biological son was 3. Sorry, was 2. He needed to start school at 2. But logically, I could defend keeping him at home for 1 more year. I could not be children that are already in secondary school at home. Hold on, make una they hear me. I could not defend keeping the grown children that had already started school at home. I could delay. In the logic, he was the only one that I could pull back. He was the only. Now, let me tell you a story. So I now put all of them, including him, in a school that they could all afford, because I did not want them to say, I put my son in a better school than I put them for the future. It was the children that came to me one day and said, Daddy, we all went to Butter schools. Oh. This boy, you are raising him like a Jepako. Let him go to Butter school. It was the other children that now made me pull him out from that school and put him in a Butter school. Because as far as I was concerned, I would rather they have the same opportunity. So that in future, tomorrow, they will not hold me and say, you did not treat us like your children. Because let me tell you the truth. You don't know which of them is going to become governor. You don't know which of them, hold on. You don't know which of them is going to become a billionaire. Now, I believe that in my old age, I am entitled to the same treatment my biological son will give me from my adopted and my stepchildren. I believe because I raised them the exact same way. I give my son food that they don't eat. I give my son privilege that they don't have. So, me protecting my son, what if now that my son where they protect now he no can do well for future? I don't think about that. What if now him no can do well? One of the children that we least expected is the one that now does well. What do I do? How am I? Let me tell you, there is no child. Let me tell you what I do for all my children. I pay all their school fees. I don't pay 80%. I pay 100% of their school fees. 100. I buy their phones. I buy their games. Their mom buys their clothes and their food and all of that. But whatever I do for my son that is biological, or for my daughter that is my biological daughter, I do for them across board. If I don't do it, I don't do it for all. If I do it, I do it for all. Because I learned that where this world is going. I had a conversation with my dad today. My dad was quarreling with my younger brother, who is from another wife. And I was telling my dad that, don't you think you are the one that is too hard on this boy? My dad was like, he was using his father's mentality. This thing that he did, he can never take it from his father will never take it. Blah, blah. I said, Daddy, you are not, your father's time has gone. This particular era, what you are doing, I don't agree with it. So we had a long conversation about this. And then, I tried to explain to him that this life that we're in is a totally different generation. Right. What he went through with his father, we lost John, is totally different. You see, I've learned something. If I call any of my kids, they will answer me in the same way. The only thing is, like, maybe because Baby Free is a baby, I tend to hug him more. I hug all of them. I tend to play with him more because he's a kid and the other ones are adults or almost adults.
Yeah, but dear, can I, obviously I don't like to project on people's personal thing, but from what I can see as an outsider looking into your personal life, it looks like all your kids look at you as their dad. Now, yeah, but let me land that phrase. Let's imagine a situation where these kids are like they are split between, oh, these are mom's new man and we also have our dad here. You have some kids like that where it's like, they're in between, they don't know what's going on. Because at the moment your kids like, I mean, there was something you read, I think it was one of your daughters that said, happy birthday to the only father I ever know. It was really touching because that's like a daughter that knows that, oh, this is my father figure. This is someone that I look up to as a male role model, sorry. But if it was a situation where there was like, war between West Coast and East Coast, and the kids are stuck in the middle, will it not be more dicey than the way you are painting it now?
Let me tell you something. You see, kids know there have been times when they are fighting with their mom and they'll come and report their mom to me.
Right.
There are times. And there are times when they are fighting with me too that they go and report to their mom. You see, the kids of nowadays are not like we. They are more balanced. They know left and right. Do you understand? They will tell me that this one, daddy, you are at fault. This one, mom, you are at fault. And you see, I've learned with kids of nowadays, they need you to explain to them. Don't force it down their throats. Explain to them. Sometimes I'm hard on them. Sometimes I quarrel with them. Sometimes I'm gentle with them. Sometimes they offend me, but I still just realize that maybe because I've been hard the last 2 times, let me let this one slide.
Right.
Some children hate their stepdads. I am lucky. Now, children hating stepdads is 2 things.
Right.
The stepdad messing up or the children having fundamental problems.
Right. Yeah, that's the point I want to get.
That is a good dad, but the children have issues. And sometimes the stepdad is a bad dad, but the children are okay. Sometimes the children and the stepdad both have issues. Sometimes not have issues. I've been very lucky with my own kids. It's been a journey. I was not right all the time. There were times when I didn't get the formula right. I wasn't born with a winning formula or a winning streak. Mm-hmm. There were some times when I didn't get the formula right. And I had to go back to the drawing board and try to fix things. But I'm going to tell you something for free. Children are a product of their mother. If you are good to their mother, they will do anything just for you, just because you are good to their mother, and they don't want their mother to be sad. They will tolerate your bullshit. Sorry, excuse my language. They will tolerate your BS. Simply because they know you make their mother happy. So for their mother, they will. Now, because now let me now tell you a story. My biological children don't like me or love me or respect me as much as my stepchildren or my adopted children. Because of the way their mother raised them. Their mother raised them to not like me. If all the things their mother says about me are negative, how do they want to like me? I have a horrible relationship with my biological children, but an amazing relationship with my stepchildren. Let me tell you something. I have, and I can tell, I'm not making this up. I can tell you for free. Someone says, DF, you are playing with fire. I hope you don't regret it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, just ignore this.
Hold on. No. The opportunity, you see, the opportunity this platform affords us is so that we can learn.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I got to where I got to. Oh, what's wrong with Nigeria? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's wrong with Nigeria? Send me $50 on YouTube.
Shout out.
You see, I got to where I got to without a single input from my biological family. I came to Lagos alone. I met Olisa Adibwa. Olisa Adibwa took me under his arm like this. I don't know him from anywhere. Not only did he help me get a job, he made sure they did not sack me on that job. He made sure I was promoted on that job. He made sure I was given opportunities on that job. I don't know her from anywhere. Olisa not be my family. That's why till tomorrow, if Olisa call me, I go run. Olisa na my bros. There are people who are his age that I don't give that bros regard.
Yeah.
Olisa made sure that I got a job, kept the job, and was promoted on the job, and taught me 50% of what I know on the radio. And I don't know him from anywhere. That taught me a lesson. Where are my uncle's children? Where are my uncles? Where are my aunties? Where were they when I needed them? They were not there, but strangers were there for me. That's the, if I'm good to my stepchildren and my adopted children, and they decide in future that they want to be bad to me, that good I sowed into their lives, I will get it somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah, true.
I will get it. Let me tell you, I know people who have biological children, and their biological children are almost if they're selling the house, they are selling this. I know people where their biological children are problem from beginning to the end.
No, true that.
So when you look at a child, what input? Let me tell you, I've told my children, I'll give you an example. My business is going to be shared equally among all my children, biological, adopted, what else do they do? A step, all my children. Whoever decides that wants to run my business will get 50% of the business, while the rest is shared among everybody else. If two people decide, oh, let's run my dad's business, they are going to get 50% of the business. The remaining is to be shared among everybody else. Now, those two that run the business, or that one that runs the business, does not have to be biological. I am more concerned about my dream evolving than my name. Nobody knows the son name of Christ, but we all know his dream. What is Paul's son name? Paul in the Bible, what's his son name? You don't know his son name. Oh. But the church today is built on his dream. I am more focused on my dream because Isaac Newton, I don't know if Isaac Newton did not have children.
I don't know about that, to be honest. I don't know if he has or not.
Not have children. He is more popular than everybody in his time that had. Did Isaac Newton? I'm bringing John back for those of you asking. Newton does not have any recorded children and he never got married. But Newton's law of physics is what airplane used to fly.
Yep.
He had no children. So his dream is more important than his name. His vision, whoever can get my vision is my child. I have vision children. Not biological children are the ideology of primitives. Primitives thought like that. This is this person's son, this person's son. Why? Because the person and the other person did together, and they produced a child. Vision children are those that take your vision to the next level. A vision child is more important than a biological child. Biology is what it is. It's biology. Somebody says, find them. I've seen many cases like that regret. I will not regret. I can never regret me. Now, let me tell you something. Before I take care of any child, biological and non-biological, adopted, I take care of myself very well first. Then I take care of my children. I don't lack anything. The only thing that can make me regret is if I took care of children and did not take care of myself. Then I will regret. But whatever belongs to me belongs to all my children. And let me tell you one thing here. More likely that my biological children will carry my dream. Sorry, my adopted children will carry my dream because they walked with me, so they understand my vision.
Yeah.
They are more. I'm not saying my vision is not open to both biological and adopted, but it is more likely than the adopted who sat with me, who worked with me, who understood me. It is easier for them to understand the vision and take it to the next level than for my biological children who have not talked to me in years. Let me tell you something. Oh, I'm not primitive. I'm half Romanian. My mother is white. The way Romanians think and the way Nigerians think is two different things. Nigerians are very primitive in their thinking. I'm sorry, I just have to say it.
It's true, it's true. It's
very,
true.
very binary in their thinking.
No, it's true.
But my children is anyone who lives. I don't open my roof for anybody. But the moment I open my door and you sleep under my roof, you become my child. And it comes with full privileges. Let me tell you something. If I have two children, yes, one is my biological child that is doing poorly in school, and the other is my adopted child that is doing excellently well in school. Which one do you think I'll send abroad to go and further education?
Of course, the one doing well, definitely. Yeah.
I will not carry a Yabatech brain and send to Harvard because it's my bad, while I will deny a Harvard brain Harvard and send to Yabatech because it's adopted. I am here to change the world. I am here to change the way we think. If we listen, the reason why some people think I will regret it in future is because they believe that the world will continue being the way it was for their parents. Stop using your parents' example. Your parents missed the road.
Definitely no.
The world is going now. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I was reading something on AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah. Do you know that artificial intelligence can start feeling pain?
Of course.
They are getting emotions. Of course. Do you know whether 10 years from now robots will take over the world? Of course. Did we know at any point in time that there will be a COVID that will lock down the whole world for 2 straight years? We didn't know. And the future. But we try to predict it with our primitive mindsets. That's why we end up where we are.
No, I get the point you're making, definitely. And also, I think, in a way, like you've said as well, though, you are quite very lucky because your kids have.
If I had children that are bad, if I had children that did not like me and did not give me a chance,
Daddy Freeze. Hi, Daddy Freeze.
Hi,
I'm fine.
There's no way you raise a child between 10 and that child at least once or twice a year, whether it's biological, whether it's adopted. Now, sometimes it is easier to discipline your biological children because nobody will question you.
Yeah.
When you are disciplining your adopted children, when you are disciplining adopted children, you have to be a bit more careful. You understand? Because they will question you. Something happened once. There's no child that lived in my house I've never beaten before. You don't collect. I not be weak. You need punishment. Give me your hand. Pra. Or I deny you a privilege. Give me your phone. Once I get angry, like say, all of you, where are you? All of you, give me your phone. I seize everybody's phone. And I can see their phone for a week. Or you know what? No internet or no game. That's the way I put. But when they were younger, I remember there was a time one of my daughters did something. And I was really upset. And I was wrecking for the child. Blah, 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 blah. You know, you want me to beat you? In fact, I'm going to go and report you to your mother. Your mother will beat you. The child looked at me and said, no, please beat me. But they don't say their mama beats it past my
Of course.
As in the child just said, please beat me. I said, I can't look at him. Say, because me, the reason why my beating know they hard for their body, we say, I'm going to beat them with conscience.
Yeah.
Say, but you know, their mama We rush them.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's not like I've not made many mistakes with all my children, plus biological, plus adopt. I've made mistakes. I'm nowhere near perfect. But I want them to know that my mistakes are from a place of love.
Yeah.
And as much as I can, I try to correct those mistakes. You understand? The lion's share of my money, I mean the chopper, me.
Yep.
I mean the chopper.
Yeah.
Followed by my wife. She eats the lioness share. Then share the rest.
Yeah.
I don't carry children on my head like this. There are some people that carry children on their head. No. I believe you deserve opportunities, but you also deserve to suffer a little so you appreciate the opportunities.
Yeah.
That's
Does.
my team. Because the more you make life too easy, John, I sent you several requests you are not accepting. The more you make life too easy for children, the less they value opportunity.
Of course. What
struggle for becomes their normal.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, we never ate beans with meat. But my children eat meat. So the day you give them beans and you don't give them meat, it becomes abnormal. But that abnormal was my own normal.
Normal, yeah.
My own abnormal was no food. But as long as there was beans in the plate, they have given you food. Go and eat. When you are done, wash the plate and sleep. But then, when you put the beans, you must put fish, you must put meat, or you must put something else. Yeah. So that, however, transcends across all children. The only child in my house that does not have a phone is baby. The moment they get to a certain age, I buy all of them phones. I buy them iPhones. They are my children. We might not have the same biology, but the world is a global village.
Yeah.
The people that will impact your life the most are going to have biological ties with. And sometimes the people that will drag you down the most will be the ones you have biological ties with.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I thought, over to you. Let me hear you.
There's this question I would like to ask John and every guy that says that they don't want to.
Hold on. I want to at this for light before you say this. I want you to go. You go and this and says. One Vic says it is unfair to act as their dad when their dad is alive and in their lives. Who creates the You see, my problem with people like you is, aside from being binary in your thinking, the intellectual capacity is hindered. Sociological and genetic factors. If you think like this, let me give you an example. My former boss, Ali, did more for me in my life than my biological father. He gave me the job that defined me. I did not say more than my mother. My mother worked a lot. But my dad, concerning my career, did not do much. Mm-hmm. My boss is Lebanese. He's not even Romanian or Nigerian. He gave me the opportunity to become Daddy Freeze today. Without him in my life, I will not have gotten to as far as I have gotten to. So you want to tell me that I will respect my father more than I respect him? Because me and my father share biology? No. It doesn't work like that. If it worked like that, there'll be what Nigerians do it's called what's this thing we all complain about our governors? They will bring their children and their relatives into power. There's a name for it.
Is it nepotism?
Nepotism. If my boss decided to be nepotic or to practice nepotism, I would never have had a chance.
Yeah.
You would have told me to go and be a biological father in Ibadan. Make my papa station give me. So as long as strangers act as your father, do you think that time I was working for my boss? And my father sat down, my boss sat down. My boss said, come, and my father said, come. Who do you think I will answer first?
Your boss.
Straight away, without even reasoning. My father said, but it's wrong, go and meet your guy.
Yes.
So a boss has assumed the position of a father by being there for me, by helping me, by creating a path for me. So if my boss can be my father, let alone a man in whose house I'm living.
You see, Daddy Freeze, there's this question I ask.
Someone says, you mean father is not important because someone gave you a job?
It doesn't matter.
He is more important in my life than my father. My boss is more important in my life than my father.
My boss pays your bills.
Me. My father couldn't. He didn't have the wherewithal. He couldn't do it. Just the way Pharaoh helped Joseph grow. It's the same way my boss helped me grow. And I am not, you know me, I'm a very logical person. I don't value blood. I value value.
Yeah.
I don't value blood. I have people who are in my life, they are like my brothers. And I have people who are biologically my relatives that I don't give a rat behind about.
Exactly.
And I have people who are strangers I met along the corridors of life, and they have bonded with me. There are people who, listen today, I have people who, if I need $10,000 now, there are people I can run to, none of them, except my mother and my younger sister. Nobody else can I run to and say, I need 10K now. No member of my family, apart from my mother and my sister, can say, what account should I pay it into? Those, if I get into trouble today, aside my mother and my sister, there is nobody I can run to that is a family member, that is a blood. So why am I rating this blood so much? Why am I giving blood value when the real people that I will run to and say, let's do this, I need this. Do you think, imagine Tinubu woke up this morning and said, I want to make Daddy Freeze Minister of Information, but he has never built a radio station before. So unless he can build a radio station, I don't trust him. I now need $1 million. Where do you think I'm going to go and raise it from? I'll come to the free nation, strangers that have become my brothers. I'll run to my friends that are my brothers. Baba, on the ground. I will raise $1 million in 1 month.
Yeah.
And none of it will come from my direct family, except my mother. My mother will hear that and will give me what she has. It's $100,000 stake. I give you. You are my son. I believe in you. And my sisters too will gather whatever they have together. And even my stepbrother. If I call him and tell him that this was on the ground, this one, Baba, I don't get money, but this is waiting I get. Take. But I have other blood relatives. So why should I put you in because you gave birth to me? No, that's not how. If I did that, the whole world would be like Nigeria.
Exactly.
You said you were going to ask a question to old men. Sorry.
On TikTok, remember to send me the money guns. I have 3 money guns now. Oh, wow. Darlene Madu sent me 2 money guns. Thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, I've only gotten... Someone says, I hope you guys know he's a Yoruba man, meaning he has 2 mouths. Inno Elvis on YouTube. I'm going to block you, but before I block you, Masoro Dilesie, what I have said, I don't have 2 mouths. So remember, I'm half Yoruba. I don't have 2 mouths. I follow what I believe in. And I have children and stepchildren. And I've lived with them for a minimum of 10 years or around 10 years. I need to sit down. And nothing has changed. So if I can do something for 10 years or almost 10 years and be consistent at it, trust me, I think I know what.
It's a long time.
I think I know what I'm doing.
The thing here is that many people always, you see, there's this question I need to ask men who can't marry single mothers.
Thank you very much. Go on.
I need to ask them a question. Okay, what if I meet you with a child? How do you want me to treat that child if you, on a good day, cannot treat someone else's child nicely or respect that person's child?
Can I answer that question? I think it's a very false narrative in this sense, and I'm like I said, I use my own personal experience with DF when he invited me. I've been in a relationship maybe once or twice with someone who's got kids, and I couldn't cope. But that doesn't make me a bad father to my kids. You know, I mean, maybe you shouldn't be blowing your own trumpet, but I'm amazed. Even my wife will tell you that I love my kids, because, man, you know, there was I will give you a story. When we first had my daughter, one of the maternity nurses that obviously is my Mrs. Wire friend, and we were talking about something like this, and she told me, it's a white woman, she said, do you know among all primitive animals, it's only us human beings that we don't kill a child that doesn't belong to us, that every primitive animals, once the wife brings another child, you know, if it's lion or monkeys or whatever, what they do is like they get rid of that child first before they begin to raise their own child.
No.
Because
Wait.
Go on.
Okay.
No, because you can't judge the father, oh, because you're not good to my child, you won't be good when we have a child. Because it doesn't, I mean, I used to think like that, but in my own case, it's totally different. You know, I couldn't cope with it, but then with my own child, it's totally different. I mean, I love my kids, you know, they get away to an extent, I show them love and all that, but it's things that I couldn't show when I was with someone that had a child that wasn't mine. So I think it's a bit of a dicey narrative to use that as a comparison.
No. What you didn't hear me. Okay, for instance, some guys will say, like you said rightly, that it's hard for you to be with a mom without that has got kids.
Yeah.
How about if, God forbid, you and your wife are not together, and I come to marry, you meet me as a single girl, how do you want me to treat your own children? Do you want to put your own children outside and treat me better, you know? And do you want to, would you put your children aside or disregard your children because I am there? Because that is what you are saying.
No, that's not what. So, funny enough, we've actually joked around this topic with my wife lots of time, right? If anything should happen between us and we've got kids, like for me, I mean, I don't know about, but for me personally, what I would probably do is either be with someone that already have a kid, because I've got a kid, or it would just be a situation where I'm not getting into like marrying someone. It would just be like I'm dating someone. Oh, this, you know, they do that here. Oh, this is my dad's girlfriend. You know, they've been together for like the last 15 or 8 years or whatever. It would just be dating. So it won't be like, because I wouldn't expect someone to carry the load that I can carry. That's just me personally. Like, I think this topic, there's no one or two answers to it. What Daddy Freeze is doing is amazing, it's commendable. I mean, people are saying, oh, you are changing. It's commendable. I haven't got it.
I have got stepkids.
Yeah.
And it's very hard, you know, to live with them, to live with a man who has got kids. And it's the same way it is hard to live with a woman who has got kids. You know, you have, just like Daddy Freeze said, when I met my husband, he had 2 lovely children. If I'm punishing, if I want to scream at my stepkids, I have to calm down a bit, and do it with style, you know, and correct them. But when it comes to my own children, my own son, as at that time, even on my own children,
right,
they will hear it that day, like seriously, and that requires on the same, if it's the same thing, offense. You understand? Because you have to be very, very careful. It's hard. Nobody's saying it's easy, you know. Nobody is saying it's easy. And I've been with my stepkids for the past 13 years or 14 years now. And I treat them the same and equally. I don't let my own kids know that they are better than them, or my stepkids are better than them. You know, when you see my stepkids and my children, you will think I gave birth to even so many people usually think I gave birth to my stepkids. You understand? Many people always think I gave birth to my stepkids because of the way I treat them and because of the way they treat me with respect. Nobody's saying it's easy. I'm not that perfect mom, and I'm also not that perfect mom with my own children too.
Yeah.
You know, because there are sometimes that when sometimes I report my son to his older brother, because his older brother is 23 now. You know that look at your little brother, see what he did, speak to him. If not, what I'll do to him. Then that will be like, oh, Auntie Lighton, it's okay, you know. And he speaks to his little brother.
Yeah.
Or when I say, oh, today your brother and your sister are not going to have TV, but I'm stepping out. You know what they will do? They will make sure that they watch TV to their satisfaction before I come back. You know all those things. And there is a bond. There is a serious bond between them. So for me, people saying that they can't be with women that have kids before, I just think that's a very wrong narrative, because there are some women that you will meet and they compliment everything about you. You understand? They compliment everything about you. So children are children. You need to treat them equally. You know? Children are children. You need to treat them all equally. You can't look down on... There are some stepkids that are very hard, though, that are very difficult, too. Don't get me wrong. It's not all of them that are easy. Daddy Freeze, you know, I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. It's not all stepkids that are easy. There are some stepkids that are so wicked to their parents, their own blood parents. So, how much more? You are nothing. So they'll be wicked to you. But everything, you have to just be smart in handling them in order for them to come to you. You know, for you all to bond. It's not easy, but my own stepkids and I, we bond. If I phone them now, they are here now.
You see, Oyinbo people are different from us, and they will always be superior to us. I have a cousin who did not know his mother was not his mother until he had finished university and they wanted to renew his passport.
Wow.
He believed that his mother was his biological mother. There were 4 kids. So when it was time to renew his passport, he just gave his passport to his sister and his birth certificate to go and help renew it. Now the sister checked the birth certificate. She said the name of the mama. Look, he didn't have the birth certificate. The birth certificate was with their mom. So it was when the mom released the birth certificate that the sister looked and said, come, what's going on? This is not your... Then went to meet their mother. Then the mother said that she raised him. He was the father's child and he was too young, so she raised him. Meanwhile, this boy was driving... He used to drive his mother's cars, but she was not his mother. He went to school abroad on the mother's bill, but she was not his mother. But guess what? He's the one taking care of her in old age now.
Exactly.
He ignored, he said he thought about it. He went, for a while, his mother, after one day, he just woke up and went to meet guess what? His university was his mother that sent him there. The job that he was doing, which is an expatriate job, it was his mother's connection, his mother that is not his mother's connection, that got him that job. He said there was a point in his life, about a year, he was looking for his real mother. One day he just went to meet his mother and said, you are the only one I know as a mother.
Yeah.
You are the only one I know as a mother. I know one guy too, who grew up with another woman like that. Same story. Father had him, and the woman just came to drop him at his doorstep one day. The woman in the house raised him. He was all his life looking for his real mother. The first day he met his mother, like she taught him a bill. First thing, so now even my son, we don't lost his bill me. He said he paid that bill and he cut off her call and never called her again in his life. So how can you tell me? How are we creating when let me tell you what the Bible says. This is what Christ. You have a Bible.
Let me see. Check my app. Hold on. Let me check my computer. I hope it's. I've got the app on.
I don't have Bible, but I have MacBook here, so I can.
Yeah,
I can read.
I've got it on my computer, and I think I bought the
NLT.
Yeah. Might be the neighbor.
Hi, hello, hi. Get something delivered to me again. Very much for that. All right, thank you.
Hold on, Daddy, please. I just want to turn on my computer.
On leads.
Yeah.
Please help me open Matthew chapter 12, verse 47.
Matthew 12,
You have
47.
NLT.
Yeah, I've just typed NLT on Google and then.
Okay. 12 from verse 47.
47. Let me see. Here we go.
Read from verse 40. Or can you?
1 minute, it's a bit iffy because it only shows 47. Let me see if I can get it all.
Just read 46. NLT is fine. Just
Okay, NLT. Okay.
Am I reading?
Yeah.
No, I've got it.
Just read 46.
Download.
It says, as Jesus was speaking to the crowd, his mother and brother stood outside, asking to speak to him. 47. Someone told Jesus, well, Yeshua, your mother and your brother are standing outside. They want to speak to you.
What was his response?
Read the full. Bear with me. I'm just gonna make it bigger.
No problem. What was his response?
Okay. And Yeshua asked, this 48, who is my mother? Who are my brothers? Then he pointed to his disciple and said, look, these are my brothers and my brothers. Yeah.
I thought I had it here. NLT.
Pointed to his disciples and said, these are my mother and these are my brothers.
Yep.
It's in the Bible. They came to meet him. They said, your mother and your brothers are outside. Once he said, no, these disciples are my mothers and my brothers.
It's just downloading.
Guess what? They were the ones that they were the ones. Mary Magdalene was not his blood sister, but she was the first one in the morning to run to the tomb to anoint his body. You understand that biology, somebody says, leave that one. As usual, someone said, I grew up in the hand of a stepdad. I have returned back to my biological father and I invested in my biological father. That's where I belong.
Primitive thinking.
I invested in my biological father, that's where I belong. Look out for your biological children. You are a primitive man. You are very little. You are Homo erectus because it's finished. But not let me enter you. Nonsense mentality. Nonsense.
But there though, on a more balanced, like to have a balanced argument sake, don't you still think it should be a situation of like, whether you're a male or female, you should know what you can deal with, and if you can't deal with it, don't go into it.
Simple.
Yeah, simple. Because that's my stand. Because a lot of people think I'm changing stand, and that's my stand. Like, if you know that you have God in you, don't go into it.
Let me false that argument, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. Before, I know they fit hear man and man. It vexed me. But as I saw that the world was evolving and a place in society was created for them, I had to alter my views. As society evolves, I'm telling you, I'm 47 years old. I don't know whether I senior you, Sean.
Oh, you definitely senior there. For that, do I look 47?
What I have in my life has made me realize that your brothers and your sisters, they outside there. No go use blood, tie yourself inside place where you no belong.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something. I've said it. If I need $1 million today, if I need advice in my life or my career today, I am not calling anybody in my family except maybe my mother and my 2 sisters. But guess what? Before I even call my mama, he get guys where I go call first, Baba. How I want look this matter? We cannot continue educating ourselves into nuclear family and expect the world to be a global village. You want Jeff Bezos to have mercy on you. You want Bill Gates to consider your plight, but then your 4 children are your only relative. Now, wahala mind. Nobody is forcing single mothers on anybody. We need to correct that notion. Nobody is forcing single mothers on anybody. But many of you dating single mothers, whether you like it or not, because women have been empowered now. A woman doesn't have to marry because you got her pregnant. She doesn't have to marry you. Those days, a woman will marry you because you got her pregnant. These days, even her parents will not force her to marry you. So there's going to be a lot of single mothers. On my life, Ebiere is a single mother. Samaria is a single mother. These are not people that are far off. These are beautiful women that we interact with every.
Yeah.
We've also got single fathers too.
And there's single fathers too.
Yeah.
I say we've also got single fathers in
fathers too.
The only single father. Oh, is it not?
Nobody is forcing single mothers on anybody. That's in no way true. What we are doing is we are creating a place to accommodate these people.
Yeah.
And children that will come into your and look up to you as a father. And you are going to let them down by the village mentality that made your father poor. Let me bring in one more person as we end. I've been trying to bring...
You know, Daddy Freeze, you know, the thing is that they will all say they don't want single mothers. But how about you marrying a single girl and you want the single girl to tolerate your child?
Don't mind them.
You get... Yes, it's hard to be a stepmom or a stepdad. It's hard. It's a job. It's even hard to be a mother or a father to your own biological children. It's hard. How much more?
All right.
Sorry, I'm just reading John's comments. I was just laughing.
Me, I'm not even looking at the comments. So some idiot was saying that, oh, my own stepchildren call me auntie, that they don't call me mommy. Excuse me, I don't need validation from you guys on how my children call me or how my stepchildren, my children or my own children call me. You don't pay my bills. You don't know me. Yeah? And I don't give a hoot about you. Yes, they call me auntie, I want it that way. I'm not their mom. Yeah, I'm their mother, but they have their real mom there. So I don't want us to confuse ourselves. That's how it should be. Some people are just daft.
It's Nigeria. What do you expect?
All
right, somebody just joined us. Let's hear your perspective so we can go and do other things. Who is this person that joined us? Okay, Donna sent a request. Let's try again. If I remove this guy now, he will now not go fully. That's the sad thing. Instagram can be so frustrating. Hold on, let me view and see if he has gone. Then I can send John